following program is rated PG-VG for gratuitous vaping. Strange Vapes. Howdy folks, and welcome to the very first Not So Strange Vapes. This is Mo, your tour guide through deliciousness. Let's face it, every now and again you get bored with the strange and the unusual, or I should say I do. I figured I would take a moment to go over some regular old juice lines. Can't say regular old, you know, it's good stuff. We're going over the entire juice line by 8-Bit Vapor. They are... Well, here, let me pop up a picture of their label design and show you how awesome these bottles are. Because frankly, I have not seen packaging as cool as this. I mean, the Evil Pumpkin packaging was awesome. I've seen some other companies that do really great packaging. I love the Five Pawns packaging. I love the Witty Octopus packaging. You know, I've seen a lot of really cool bits of packaging out there. I'm really kind of in love with this one because I am a classic gaming fanatic, and I love how each one of these bottles is set up to look like an 8-bit Nintendo cartridge, and that's pretty fucking awesome. So let's just dive right in. I don't have a whole lot of time today, so I just want to make it real quick. I got 4 juices to go over. And we'll just start at the top here. So first up, we've got Foreplay, which is not only a great pun, but it's also a lemon iced tea. To give this one credit for is tasting like one of those $1 can iced teas you get at the store. I mean, it nails the profile perfect. Now you're probably saying to yourself, but those are kind of cheapo iced teas. But you know what though? Not everything can be gourmet, and I think that this nails that sort of like dollar can taste perfectly. I have no issues with that. I'm not a fucking snob about, you know, about the hoity-toity, and you know, it tastes good. That's what matters. The only thing that should ever matter with juice is how good does it taste, and this one tastes pretty good. If you're a fan of lemon iced tea, the lemon's not too heavy, the iced tea part doesn't kill you. I mean, my only real issue with it is that it's a little saccharine sweet, but they all are, to be honest. All 4 of these are just a little saccharine sweet. But I'm not going to hold that against it. There's still really, really tasty juices. But that's Foreplay. It's a lemon iced tea. It's delicious. Moving on. Up next, we've got Combo Breaker, or as I like to say, Combo Breaker, which is a caramel apple. I mean, really, the caramel apple is... This is the first one I tried, and the first thing I noticed when I blew a cloud is normally when I vape at work, my coworkers don't really comment on the smell of the juices that I'm vaping. They just kind of go, "Oh, that's okay," you know. This one, I blew out the cloud, and they're like, "Wow, that smells really good." And I'm like, well, it tastes really good. It's, you know, I mean, it nails the carnival style caramel apple. Yeah, it's very tasty. It's enjoyable. We'll leave it at that. The only thing I'd say about this one is that the flavor does get to be a little much. Like the caramel and the apple, they go real well together, but you wouldn't want to eat caramel apples all night long. I mean, think about it. You could drink iced tea all night long. You couldn't eat caramel apples all night long. So it's a little heavy, and after a while, you're not going to want to vape it anymore. But that doesn't mean that you wouldn't go back and have it again a day or two later. It's still very good. All right. Moving on to the third juice is one called Cinder. Cinder is a, if I'm using the non-name brand, it's a cinnamon cereal. Think back to my first cereal episode of Strange Vapes where I covered Sugar Bear. It's Sugar Bear, and it's not like Sugar Bear. It's actually whereas Sugar Bear is very intense with the cinnamon, and the cinnamon tends to linger a long time. This one, I don't find that's the case at all. I think the cinnamon's a lot less harsh. This is definitely the one I vaped the most out of the 4 that I tried. Don't get me wrong, Sugar Bear still ranks in my top 5 for favorite juices right now. This one doesn't hold a candle to Sugar Bear, and that's not an insult. This is still a very tasty juice, and like I said, this is the one that I vaped for the longest amount of time last night, or not last night, but in the time that I was vaping. Yeah, so I mean, but it's pleasant, it's mild, it is very sweet. Like I said, they all are. They're all very sweet, but it has that nice little cinnamon kick to it. And now moving on to the last of the 4. This one is called Spark. Spark is a sweet and sour blueberry hard candy. Now here's the thing. For some reason in my head, I imagined that Spark would have like a little bit of a mint or a menthol kick to it. So when I vaped it and I didn't get that, and I don't know why I would expect that. I mean, I guess with the name Spark, I don't know. But I was expecting like a menthol, and for some reason, it wasn't. So I kind of take points away, even though I shouldn't. It's still a very, very tasty. The blueberry really hits you. I don't know what I think about the hard candy aspect of it, though. I like the blueberry. This is the one I enjoyed the sweetness of it the most. I thought it really worked, but maybe because that sour was in there, because the other ones don't really have any real sour. I mean, the Combo Breaker kind of has the apple sourness to it, but it's not really sour. This one's the only one that has sour to it. So here's what I did. I made my own little concoction. So I took one of these little 5 ml tester bottles. I put about 4 mils of the Spark in it, and then I dropped about 15 or so drops, which sounds like a lot, but trust me, it's really not, of the liquid that I used for the menthol challenge. I dropped a bunch of that in here. And I gotta tell you, I've been vaping it ever since. It's, I mean, I took a little bit of a break on my Cinder 100 box. I've been vaping another juice that I'll be doing in a future episode of Not So Strange Vapes. But, I gotta tell you, I don't know what's going on with this, that I'm not getting any real cloud production on here. This juice is very thick. It's very VG heavy, or at least it seems that way. And it was on my Cinder 100 producing some serious clouds. I don't know why it's not. There we go. That's something. Yeah, maybe it's just the build that I have in here. I don't know. This one does take a long time to heat up, so I will say that. But, I mean, maybe if the 8-bit guys are watching, I gotta tell you, just that little tiny kick of menthol turned this juice from, like, a 3 to, like, a 4.5. I mean, just in that one little kick. Just my 2 cents. But anyway, here's my problem. So here's the thing. Like I said, I did enjoy these juices. I was stuck at work with them. I didn't bring anything else with me. I only had these 4 juices for about 12 hours. I worked a really long shift. And I gotta tell you, by the time my night was done, I didn't want to touch these things again. Because it's a lot of the same type of sweetness. and I needed something to sort of like cleanse my palate. So I wish I had brought a menthol juice with me, or that I had brought something with a little bit of a sour edge or a lighter sweetness, like maybe Candy Shop from Coil Vapes. That would have been a good option, or Grasshopper, which is a spearmint that they put out. So I mean, so something to break up the monotony of that saccharine sweetness would have been great. So that's just my experience. I think most people ordering this would probably thoroughly enjoy each of these. These are not all day vapes. Not all juices can be. It doesn't matter. They don't have to be. They just need to taste good, and these do. I really appreciated them. If the 8-bit guys don't change it around and make Spark a menthol one, I thoroughly suggest, if you have Nickwid's added burst, or just a straight menthol, not a flavored one, because we don't want to dilute the flavor of the juice itself. We just want to add a menthol kick to it. I would thoroughly suggest that. Give it a go. Mix up a little of your own. That's the best part about being in the vaping community, is you mix stuff up, you make new flavors, you try out your own shit. It's awesome. The very worst thing that happened, and I don't mean this as an insult to them, it just happens. A lot of juices do this, but man, oh man, did it gunk the shit out of my coils. I was talking a couple weeks back when I did, or I guess it would have been last week when I did the pumpkin episode, about how the evil pumpkin, something was on it that was getting on my coils and just would not come off. This stuff, the 8-bit juices, man, those things, they attached themselves to my coils, and they just stayed there. So by the time my night was over, and remember, this was all I was vaping the whole night. By the time my night was done, I was just getting just nastiness, just burnt taste, and I even changed out the wicking. I tried dry burning it. It just would not come off. So I don't know if there's just something in the juices that just sticks to the coils, but that was easily the biggest negative about this line, was that it gunked the shit out of my coils. But I mean, I think the good outweighs the bad. I'm willing to take a gunked up coil. It just means vape it at the end of your coil's life cycle. It's what I do with a lot of them. Anything that I know is gonna gunk up my coil, I just say, okay, fine, I'll no problem. I'll vape it at the end of the coil's life. That's what I do. But yeah, overall, I say give it a go. It's relatively reasonably priced. I think it's like 13. I want to say it's like around $13 for like a 15 mil, something to that effect. But go to their website. I believe it's 8bitvapor.net. If it's not, I will post the link right here. And yeah, give them a shot. I mean, like I said, I kind of had a trapped at sea sort of situation with them, so maybe my view's not the best on there, but make up your own mind. I mean, even if you just want to buy them to display them in your collection, because frankly, it's, like I said, it's the coolest label art I've ever seen. And I will give these guys all the credit in the world, even if it's just for their label art, because I am down with some fucking 8-bit Nintendo whatnot. I love it. I love it. Anyway, this episode has gone entirely too long, so let me wrap it up now and just say, tune in later in the week when regular old Strange Vapes will be back, and we are going to be covering crab leg juice. Yup. Crab juice finally makes its way to Strange Vapes. Ooh. Let's see how I handle that one. I am actually not gonna lie, I am super excited to try it, because frankly, you deserve to see how it affects me. Alright, so I'm gonna go vape some Spark with some menthol in it, and you guys keep vaping strange out there. Do you have an unusual juice you'd like me to try? Email me at strangevapes@gmail.com, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.